So Caitlin Clark has been talking about the new CBA, and I do think that what she's saying about the new CBA is right. Regardless of what people want to say, I think Caitlin Clark is right. And this is obviously the old WNBA fans are going mad, being like, "Oh, she doesn't want the players to get what they want." It's like, no. She wants. I can guarantee you, these young players are speaking for the players more than the PA are. I can guarantee you that, because let's be real, most WNBA players, even the ones who play overseas all year round, don't make 200k a year. If there's a WNBA lockout, they are losing 200k plus whatever they make, or on top, in addition to what they're making overseas. So if there's no season, they don't make money. There are 100 players in the league that will not be in Unrivaled or Project B. 100 of them are losing minimum 200k. And the likes of Angel, Caitlin, like you can even see Angel's and Caitlin basically had the exact same answer, but it's acceptable to insult Caitlin Clark and say whatever you want about Caitlin Clark. But this is what she had to say here. The players will fight for everything we deserve during the current round of CBA negotiations. They at the same time must seek compromise on both ends and need to play basketball. That's what our fan craves, the products on the floor. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Obviously, Angel Reese, where is Angel Reese? Is there something that she said here? No. Obviously, Kelsey Plum was like, it's a little bit disheartening, the frustration and negotiation, how far away we are. And the reality is that I think when it's all said and done, we're looking at a situation where any of the smart players knows that you fight for everything you can get, but at the end of the day, the season has to happen. Every smart player knows the season has to happen. If the season doesn't happen, they're kind of fucked. Everyone's fucked. Like, if the season doesn't happen, they're fucked. This whole ecosystem, everything about this, they're all fucked if the season doesn't happen. So they gotta compromise in some way, and whether it be, and you don't compromise in everything. You get whatever it is. You get as much as as humanly possible, and you fight as much as you can. But there's a big but. You have to play. You have to play. And it's funny when it comes to Caitlin, when it comes to the CBA, like everyone they're all calling out Caitlin, being like, oh, she's not gone all pro player. It's like, well, yeah. If Caitlin Clark was like, this is a slap to the face, we're locking out. Or this is a slap to the face, we just won't play. Like, Caitlin knows that they're all screwed, including herself. And not only that, all the young players. Let's be real. Caitlin's probably looking left, looking right, and thinking, look, first of all, if I want to play in this league. I'm in a worse position if this doesn't happen. Then you look left and you're like, oh shit, Aaliyah. She's probably losing to go to $1 million if the league doesn't happen. Looks right at Lexi Hull. Without the WNBA, all of her outside ventures, she's about to launch a new makeup brand. What's going to happen then? If she doesn't get the hype then? You look down, Sophie Cunningham, she's going to struggle. You look down at a Cake, or maybe you look down even at a Bree Turner. Shit, she's towards the end of her career. She could make 300k for 3 more years. Or if this league stops and the momentum's gone. And also, I think they're smart enough to know that if the 2026 WNBA season doesn't happen, those $1 million contracts, they're never coming again. They're never coming again. Like, anyone who thinks that a year of a lockout is going to make the owners want to pay more, because the problem isn't the owners. The problem is the ownership structure of the WNBA. There is an argument to be said that you have to almost get rid of the ownership structure, but there should be. I think they should be fighting for some way to buy the shares back for long term. But there's no scenario that the players get everything they want short term, and it doesn't fuck them over long term. Like, the WNBA made a lot of really, really short term moves. Whatever about the NBA, only 50%. In 2022, Kathy Engelbert got in a whole bunch of funding short term, which turned out to be the dumbest thing ever. They lost 18% of their league, or 16% of their league. So it was the dumbest thing ever. And it is one of those things where you unfortunately cannot undo the mistakes of the past. You can't undo those mistakes. So you got to move forward and put yourself in the league in the best position. And the reality is that these players without the I hate saying this because I think there is a world where they could have some form of a league. And if you have all these same players and you have everything, and you could have an alternate league that does succeed more than the WNBA, but it's not going to be unrivaled. It's not going to be a league owned by the players. Because unfortunately, when one player owns more equity than a different player, the way they make decisions in the league is different. Because the Fisikalia, it's not going to be a player-owned league, and that's one of the unfortunate things. And it's not going to be for players to get what they want, it has to be a Project B, no salary cap. Owners of franchise can pay whatever the fuck they want, and maybe if Unrivaled goes and sells teams, maybe they just say fuck it, we're gonna put all the equity that you guys have put in for ownership percentages, we're gonna put it all into our teams. We're gonna have 8 franchises. They're going to bring 12 players each, and that's going to be it. We have 8 franchises. We're going to sell these 8 franchises for 100 million each, and WNBA is gone, and Unrivaled's going to play during the WNBA calendar. There is an argument to be made there that could work, but without a real competitive 5v5 league that all the best players in the world are playing in, these players aren't worth any money. No offense, they're not worth that much money. They're not worth what they want to be getting paid without that structure. And by the way, I think that there are players in the league that are worth 10 million. But there are players in the new max contract system that are going to be getting $1 million that aren't bringing $1 million worth of revenue into a franchise by themselves. And that happens in all sports. To say that Steph Curry was making 12 million a year when he was the most popular athlete in the world. Stephen Curry Steph Curry, over the course of his career, has probably been responsible for, I would say, maybe $3 to $4 billion for the Golden State Warriors. A player like Steph, a prime LeBron, to an extent Luka, a Wemby, a Shea, are never going to make what they're worth in a salary cap league. The problem is that, and then a lot of players make more than they're worth in a salary cap league. The reality of the whole situation is the league has to play. It's as simple as that. And at least Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are willing to say it. I think all young players would say that as well. Not one young player, other than, Angel, play us what you want here, we're going to walk. Other than a throwaway podcast comment, when you hear her actually answering the questions. And by the way, when Angel Reese actually takes time to answer questions, you have no doubt about it that she's smart. She knows what's going on. She can see what's happening. And she's you don't get to where she is without being smart. The difference is that sometimes on an unedited podcast you might say some dumb shit, but everyone does. To say that I haven't said some dumb shit on this channel will be wrong, and whether you can see me smart or not, I don't know. But at the end of the day, look, Caitlin's talking about CBA, and I think her points are pretty solid. They're solid. Anyway, I'll see you guys.